Hey guys, it's Viejo here, and we are into the second week of November in 2024. Fall's moving right along, eh? Got kind of a dreary day here on the central coast of California as I am filming this. Cloudiness, and we had a little bit of rain, not much, maybe 100, something like that. But anyway, hey, this is episode 5, part 1 of Wadcutter Wednesday, and what we've got for you today is the beginning of kind of a twofer. Actually, the next part of this part 2 will show you a little bit more about that. But this is another version of the Lyman / Ideal 358432 Type 2 wadcutter, actually Type 3 wadcutter. We last time looked at the smaller version, the 148 grain version, and as it turns out, there is also a 160 grain version. And that's what we're going to cast up today. Here's a look at the mold, okay, and the bullet with it. Andy 79Z28, as you may recall, sent me a couple of bullets cast up in zinc. He cast up one that we saw in a video earlier this week for 38/357, and that was a semi-wadcutter bullet. But what we're going to look at in this two-part episode is comparing some zinc wadcutters with the same mold number, not the identical mold, because Andy's got his and I got mine. Okay, and we're going to compare the bullet in lead and zinc. Going to load them both the same, okay, and so forth. But first, we got to get some cast up. So this is a new to me mold. In fact, when Andy had sent those bullets, I did an unboxing of that, and I was looking at him and go, "Oh, Andy, yours look longer than mine. What's the deal?" And he goes, "Oh, well, those are the bigger version." And I'm like, "Bigger version? I didn't know there was 2 versions." Well, there are, but now I have a mold for the larger version as well, and that's what we're going to use today. And YouTube viewers, you know that I can't show you the mold. We'll have to kind of skip over the casting part, and I can show you the products and the data page and so forth. But I can't show you any of the actual casting or reloading part. I get in trouble for that. So let's go ahead, if you're on YouTube, and we'll jump forward to that section that I can show you here. Okay, these guys are not bad. They're not perfect. But again, it's an older mold. Okay, it's at least 60 years old, and maybe older than that. But not too bad. Those are keepers. Okay. We'll get some weighed here after a while and measured and see how they come out, as you know, how close to 160 they actually are. But I'm happy enough with that. Not the, you know, absolute greatest mold, but and the reason I say that, see, you know, on that first band up there, it's a little ragged. There was a tiny bit of rust in that cavity, and so I got as much of it out as I could. So it left a couple of little rough finishes there, but that's going to all fill in when we do our powder coat, so we're not too worried about it. Here's the information on the Ideal 358432 160 grain version. They came in right at 168 grains with today's alloy, Viejo number 1, about 9532, more or less, because we don't know exactly what the base of that range scrap really is. A little different every time. Ran them at 710 today. That's just kind of where the pot was set, and they ran fine there. Little fat with that alloy. Okay, 0.361, both cavities. They were uniform, but a little on the heavy side, fat side, I guess. 0.635, the 148 grain version, I just went back and looked it up, is 0.605. So this guy's just a little bit longer, 3/100ths longer. Okay. Top base to the top of the crimp groove, 0.415. So there's our data on this guy. Here come those few ideal 358432, the 160 grain version, done up in Eastwood beige. We didn't make very many, but just enough to go try. Okay, yeah, let's do a quick side-by-side comparison of the bullet that I just cast up and the zinc version that Andy sent. And if you look closely, you'll see there's some minor differences between those two bullets, even though they have the same identifier and they're allegedly the same 160 grain version. There's still some slight differences between the two molds. I think the one that I have is a little older, and maybe the one Andy had might be a little bit newer. But that happens, and that's something that you need to be aware of. If you buy multiple copies of the same mold, maybe you're gonna, it's only a 2-cavity mold and you want to run 2 molds at the same time. They might be different. That's a kind of a common issue with the famous Lyman 429-421 bullet for 44. There are several different versions of that one running around out there. So anyway, let's look. Here are our two 358-432 bullets from Lyman. On the left is the lead bullet 160 grain version, and on the right, same mold number, okay, from Andy 79Z28 in zinc, weighing 96 grains. Okay, so there you go with all of the casting stuff that we did with that one. Again, didn't make very many, but what we'll do now next time is go ahead and get them loaded up, and I'm going to load I'm going to load all of those ones that I cast and the ones that Andy sent me. We're going to load them with the die settings exactly the same and with the same charge, and then take them to the range and shoot them and chrono them and see how they compare. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. I hope that you enjoyed that and got something out of it. But from the Viejo bench for now, that's all she wrote.